Well, welcome one and all to a very special service today at the Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Laurel Liefert, and I have the honor of serving this amazing, warm, welcoming, somewhat rowdy, justice-loving community of seekers. And we like to say that we are a UU congregation, a community of open minds, loving hearts, helping hands, gutsy creativity, and feet that walk our talk. So wherever you are on your faith journey, whether you come today with joy in your heart or tears, you are all very welcome here. Because this is such a voluptuous service, I think what I would like, because music, anyway, if you are visiting for the first time, how about raising your hand and maybe just shouting out your name so that we can give you a special welcome. So, Alex, Chris, Holly, Diane, Juanita, and Andy, and Trudy, Leo's. Well, so now let's go ahead and give you a very embodied warm welcome. So this is a very full service, and we're going to have some cake afterwards. And so I hope that you all are going to enjoy today that is filled with music and filled with an amazing welcome to our new members. And so without further ado, we will now light the chalice.
Words from John Gibb Millsbaugh. Leave aside the little thoughts that distract you. For this place, like all places, is a holy place. And now, like all times, is a holy time. Join with this community of seekers, and together, let us find.
So come, let us worship together. And if you'll all please rise for our opening hymn, we have a song written by John Denver that I think many of you probably know, Sunshine on My Shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a day that I could give you, I'd give to you a day just like today. And if I had a song that I could sing for you, I'd sing a song to make you feel this way. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine on my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. Sunshine almost all the time makes me high. Thank you. So if you can move this stuff out of the way. Always such a special occasion when we have the ceremony of, we call an ingathering of new members, because when people join Namakwa, what it means is that they have felt that they are accepted for all of who they are and will be with a community who will help them become who they wish to become. And the Namakwa congregation had the class of 2021, but it was during the pandemic. And so we have some of the members who I'm going to call up in just a minute who joined last year. And then we have some others who just have signed the membership book recently. And so I want to call up Alice Kane, who is our membership coordinator, and also Sally Henry, who serves as the president of the congregation. And then as I call your names, if you'll please, new members, come on up and bring your order of service. What this ceremony is about is creating a covenant between the new members and the congregation. As you may know, the Unitarian Universalist faith does not have a creed. we are a people of promises. And so this is a commitment that we take seriously, but it is also something that is filled with joy. And so I would like to call up here Miriam Bellamy, Linda Bell, Arthur Goldside, Leo Grassens, Loretta Hogue, Sharon Knorr, Carl Kronberg, Megan Paul Nordwall, Tamara Paquette, Catherine Stacy, and Bonnie and John Stegner. Let me get the microphone. So what I would like to do is give each of our new members just a moment to introduce themselves. So if you'll say your name, and then also very briefly, why it is that you decided to join this community. So what is it that you hope to get out of it? And after they do their brief introduction, I want to have us all shout, welcome, so-and-so. So let's actually start over here with the Stegners. And this is the kind of microphone that you need to speak right into it.
John Stegner. We've been in church for about 6 years and my wife couldn't handle it anymore.
I'm Bonnie Stegner, and I was just looking for a home where I could feel like I kind of found my tribe.
Oh, wait. Welcome, John. Welcome, Bonnie.
Hi, I'm Catherine Stacy, and I love small churches. And I too was out of church for about 10 years, and that was way too long. And I've come to the Oklahoma two times a week, and I was part of that UCC, United Church of Christ, congregation there. And so, yeah, glad to be here.
Welcome, Catherine.
Muchas gracias a mi esposo y mi esposa y supports me in everything that I do. And eso es mi promesa. Esos son mis manos. Estoy a servirse. Mi familia nueva y toda mi gente, all my people back around the world and back in Florida. I promised when I left Florida, I would find our tribe and their here. And the social justice warriors that are fired up and ready to go and fight for human rights and environmental rights and all the things that we care about. So I can't wait for all of us to have it. I'd like to honor and respect that we are all standing on this day shining.
Welcome, Tam.
Hi, I'm Sharon Knorr. Came here from upstate New York about 10 years ago and have been searching for a new spiritual community for a long time. And this just is perfect.
Welcome, Sharon.
I think I could say that only I came from Washington State 7 years ago, and exactly looking for the right community. And I tried elsewhere, and then just didn't work it. I kept hearing about Namaqua, and I thought, oh, too small. I might be too old. This is too much, and I thought, on the other side, on the other hand, it's been perfect because I can get involved, and you feel like community.
And your name is Loretta. And so welcome, Loretta.
Hi, I'm Arthur Goldside. I moved here 2 years ago. I've spent about 20 years in the Boston area, which is where I first discovered Unitarian Universalism and found spiritual community and tradition that resonated with me. And so when I moved here, I was looking for a community that would be open-minded, welcoming, especially interested in supporting the LGBTQIA+ community. And so I'm very happy to find something so close to my home.
Arthur, welcome, Arthur.
Well, my name is Leo Grassens. I come originally from Eindhoven in the Netherlands. I've been in the States since 1984. I started coming here as a guest a couple of times, and I just got very emotional and I got teary-eyed. And I don't understand why. there was something missing. There's all this positivity that's here, and the feeling of togetherness, and that's an inspiration. So I'm coming here because I think it can make me a better person, a better husband, a better father, grandfather, and a friend to all. So thank you for letting me join your community.
Welcome, Leo. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Miriam Bellamy. I am here, lots of changes in my life. My youngest turns 18 today. So lots of changes in our lives. I'm here for friendship and to serve a community where it's not working because I'm working too much.
Welcome, Miriam.
Linda Bell, I was a Unitarian since age 5.
Mm.
So I was an adult Unitarian, recycle. And I was looking for a new home. I came to this church and decided to relocate to Loveland from the mountains near the Feather Lakes. And I'm happy to be in this wonderful, welcoming congregation. And I'm ready to work.
Welcome, Linda.
Mark Sullivan introduced us to Unitarian Universalism at Foothills, and we enjoyed a number of years there. Little health problem, moved down here to downsize, and are delighted to be part of this wonderful community.
Welcome, Paul.
I'm Meg Nordwall, married to Paul, and I was raised Catholic, spent a little time with the Methodists, and ended up with Foothills Unitarian about 10 years ago. And we, as you said, we moved to Loveland, and we started coming here a year before the pandemic. We found the people to be warm, wonderful, justice-loving people, and that hooked me. But actually, I was invited to share some of my music with this congregation and had a warm welcome with that too. So now I'm in the choir and making plans for the town show and ready to celebrate this time with Laura before she leaves. So I love this church and I'm glad to be here and a part of it.
Welcome, Meg.
Hi, I'm Carl Croker, and I moved here a few years ago. I was looking for a community that shared my beliefs, and that's what brought me here.
And you're a drummer. Welcome, Carl. So let's now get our orders of service out. And I don't know if we had enough, but share with someone. So as new members of the Namakwa Unitarian Universalist congregation, do you join our covenant to affirm and promote the principles of Unitarian Universalism? Do you accept the differences among us as opportunities for growth? And will you contribute your time, talent, and treasure as you are able toward making this a vital and loving community?
Yes, we do, and we will.
And do you, the congregation, welcome these new members into our beloved community? And do you pledge to help them grow in a sense of belonging as they take their place among us?
Yes, we do.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my privilege to welcome you as the newest members of the Namakwa Unitarian Universalist congregation. We hope you find with us a place where you can both nurture your spirit and be part of healing the world.
Ours is an open-hearted religious community which honors the past, lives with passion in the present, and envisions the future. We are an open-minded community of seekers. We warmly and sincerely invite you to bring your stories of vulnerability and strength, of joy and sorrow, of doubt and faith. We invite your questions and pledge to support you as you live into the answers you seek.
We are eager to walk our religious journeys together in this congregation.
and to serve the work of justice, peace, and hope.
Today, we dedicate ourselves to our mission. Namakwa Unitarian Universalist Congregation fosters a beloved community that celebrates diversity, strives for peace and justice, acts mindfully for the good of the planet, and inspires spiritual growth through a free and loving search for truth in meaning. We dedicate ourselves to our vision to radiate love, peace, and justice. We dedicate ourselves to our covenant that includes fostering authentic connections with each other through love, laughter, praise, goodwill, and action. We will work and play together to create in this congregation a model of our vision for the longer world, to be the change we want to see. In the spirit of love and freedom, we affirm our sacred promises to one another. May the relationships we have recognized today be a source of growth, strength, courage, and joy to us all. And now Alice, our membership coordinator, would you like to say a few words?
I would like to say a few words.
Okay.
So about 5 years ago, I participated as a new member. Closer. Yeah. About 5 years ago, I participated as a new member at the Spring and Galleries. Over the last 5 years, I've come to see what a wonderful group of people you are joining today. I encourage you to get to know them. Volunteer to be an usher. Help with coffee hour, volunteer with religious education classes, take a class. You will learn as I have that the people in this congregation are the salt of the earth.
And Alice has some gift bags for those of you who haven't yet received them and some cards. And so if you'll maybe file by her and then go ahead and take your seats again in a few. A comment about masks. Our COVID team has a rule in keeping track of the Larimer County positivity rate. It's if it's 5.0 or below for 2 weeks, then we can go without masks, which we have until this past week when it went up to 5.6. So now today it's back down to 5.0. And we hope that it will continue to stay down. But those of us who are performing or whatever, up here, we don't have to wear masks. And thank you for all of you who are wearing them. Safety has been our #1 priority through the whole pandemic. And boy, oh boy, what do you think about that? 13 people. And for our new members, maybe especially, and to all of you, please join us now in singing the song, What a Wonderful World.
She loves.
I see trees so green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, so bright as the day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Can't hear her.
this or otherwise to bring us to paradise.
So now, Marion Cox, one of our worship associates, will share a reflection.
Awakenings. There are so many kinds of awakenings. We awaken each morning after hopefully a good night's sleep. Awakening also happens naturally with maturation, such as awakening to your sexuality, or awakening to the fact that your parents are real people with strengths and weaknesses. Not like you saw them when you were maybe a toddler as omnipotent, or as perhaps hopelessly backward when you were a teenager. And then there are mystical peak experiences of awakening that come unexpectedly. I had a profound experience in the mid-1980s, struggling to find myself after divorcing my husband of 15 years. I took my 3 young sons home to Hawaii to visit my family. One day, I was out snorkeling and enjoying the colors on the reef, the corals, the tropical fish, and then one fish, kind of a strange plain fish, not colorful like the other reef fishes. It swam past me and then it turned and looked right at me. And in that moment, looking at the fish as it looked at me, everything just, the fish and I became one. I was one with the universe. I felt mystically whole and completely calm. I've never felt more myself, and yet paradoxically less my little self. I have no idea how long this lasted because time was insignificant. Paul Tillich wrote, and I quote, "Grace strikes us when we are in great pain and restlessness. Sometimes at that moment, a wave of light breaks into our darkness, and it is as if a voice were saying, 'You are accepted.'" I called this experience a gift of grace when I needed it most. It allowed me to calmly and effectively face the struggles inherent in finding a new way of relating with myself and others. These peak experiences offer instant and profound life-changing insights, but they can't be planned. There are, however, important awakenings that you can work toward. I'm going to share a very brief description of a process that has worked for me. It's my own spin on works that I have personally found meaningful by Tara Brach, Pema Chodron, Thich Nhat Hanh, Joseph Campbell, John Kabat-Zinn, Brene Brown, and many others. Joseph Campbell talked about the circle of awareness. The top part is what we are aware of, and the bottom part is our subconscious. In the subconscious are stored experiences from our childhood and interactions with society. These experiences have left an indelible mark from which we have created stories about who we are and what life is like. Many of these narratives are not accurate, but they shape how we react to life's events. When we react in these habitual ways, we are on autopilot, or what Tara Brach calls living in a trance. Signs that let me know I'm living in a trance include realizing I've just eaten a whole bag of Doritos, or blaming others when things aren't quite as I expect them to be, or feeling angry with somebody who has done something that irritates me. It's really myself I'm out of touch with. When we act in ways that are harmful to ourselves or others, and I'm thinking here of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, we are living from this trance state. Instead of living from our truest values, we are caught up in reactivity. We have lost sight of who we really are and what we really want. We might be nudged into awakening from this trance through a painful event such as the death of a loved one, the loss of a job, the breakup of a marriage, Perhaps we see a gap between what we are living and what we want. Maybe we're seeking a deeper awareness of our life's purpose. Our life seems off kilter. By bringing the underlying false perceptions up out of the subconscious into present awareness, we have the option to examine the autopilot patterns and change them. This can be done by anyone, anytime. You don't need to don a saffron robe and go wandering in a desert. You don't need to go on a retreat to a hermitage. You don't need to travel to India to study with a master yogi. All you need is to create a spaciousness in your mind and be open to examining what you find there. I call this the automobile club approach to awakening because it requires awareness, attention, and acceptance, triple A. And just as I call on triple A to tow and fix my car when it is broken, I call on awareness, attention, and acceptance to help me find myself when I am broken. First, I must be aware. I must be aware that I'm on autopilot and my life is caught up in habitual reactions. Am I acting moody, irritated, judgmental? These are good clues that I'm caught in a cycle of reactivity. Once I'm aware, I can choose to turn my attention to an event or emotion that's causing this discomfort. Using my senses, I ground myself in the present. I might notice new daffodils poking up out of the ground, or my dog asleep on the floor next to me. Maybe I hear birds singing, or a car driving by. There may be an odor of the bacon I cooked for breakfast. I might feel the chair holding me, or this air passing on my skin. Once grounded in the present, I bring my attention to the emotion or event I want to explore. What thoughts come up? Where do I feel this in my body? Are my shoulders tense? Does my stomach feel like it's in knots? By sitting with these thoughts, I allow them to exist now, without denying or trying to avoid them. They are up out of my consciousness and into my awareness. There they are, sitting right next to me, ready to be befriended. Sometimes it helps me to visualize them as waves on the surface of the ocean, and those waves can be very choppy sometimes. And then if I look deeper into the deep parts of the ocean, I can tap into the calm. Accepting these emotions and thoughts and not trying to cover them with busyness, work, eating, drugs, or other addictions, they lose their power over me. I can more easily recognize when the feeling is again triggered, and instead of reacting, I can pause before responding in ways that more skillfully reflect my values and intentions. My life hasn't changed. I'm not instantly easier to get along with, but as I continue to follow this path, I grow a deeper awareness of what has previously been unconscious. And this allows a perceptual shift in how I deal with the stress of daily life. My emotional baggage becomes less confusing. My values, intentions, and identity become clearer. I've created a spaciousness in my mind that allows the option to respond more skillfully to life's challenges. One writer, and I can't remember who, describes this as releasing the painful emotions from your psyche into a larger space. Just as dye put into a little jar of water will turn that water a bright color, but dye released into a lake or the ocean dissipates, and there's hardly any effect at all. I know this is an overly simplified description of a complex process, but maybe it will lead you to look further into your own process of awakening. I believe if more of us were on the path of awakening, we would have more compassionate and healthy relationships, leading to a more peaceful and compassionate world. I will end with a poem by Donna Faulds called Awakening Now. Why wait for your awakening? Do you value your reasons for staying small more than the light shining through the open door? Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Now is the only time you have to be whole. Now. Now is the sole moment that exists to live in the light of your true nature. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Perfection is not a prerequisite for anything but pain. Please, oh please, don't continue to believe in your stories of deficiency and failure. This is the day of your awakening. May it be so.
Past years, as I've served as minister, one of the things that we have done is empower my leaders to share reflections like Mary Cox just did. Mary, you were our first batch, I think, of awakens. You see how important it is that each person in our community have a voice. All of us have stories. All of us have wounds, and we have many, many gifts. Well, our next song is in honor of the debut of this third iteration of the Ukes. And it's a little bit irreverent, but I hope that you might, Leonard, forgive us. And you may read the words as they're up here. Leo, come on up. And Fran Green is the one who discovered this song for us. Heard there was a bit of course that I should play till I had bored. My teacher told me I must practice daily. The girls like this, C, F, G, 7th, and I never played the harp in heaven. Ukulele. So let's start. When I get there, I'll play my ukulele. When I get there, I'll play my ukulele. Ukulele, ukulele, ukulele. Of course, they sang this song, but I believe they got it wrong. The vocals sounded shrill and hard to wave. But sometimes when the spirit moves, I'm sure that Leonard would approve. I'll play the song upon the ukulele. Ukulele, 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 ukulele. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, near or far. It could be Greek, Brazilian, or Italian. Or Dutch. Your friendly invites will come without end to play upon the lovely ukulele. As we gather, we Sunday, spend this hour together. I picture what we're doing is weaving a tapestry of love that we call community. And we take the time every Sunday to share our joys and our sorrows. So one of the joys is the youths. So I thank all of you. They have worked so hard to get ready for this service. But it's not always joy. And I think many of you know that we have a big sorrow that happened this week, which is that one of our members who has done a tremendous job being our board secretary and taking charge of a big gap in our organization about personnel, this is Nance Horowitz, died of a major stroke just this last Wednesday. And with us today are Mark, Nance's husband, and Carol, Nance's sister, who is a UU here from Madison. And what I would like to do is say, as we do sometimes, Mark and Carol, that in your grief, we hear you. We hold you. And we care for you. So let's have a moment of silence. For those of you who knew Nance, and for those of you maybe didn't know her, let me just say that she was a beautiful, perfectly imperfect human like all of us. And yes, may you have safe passage. Morocco's tradition is in sharing joys and sorrows is to transfer a glass pebble from one bowl to the next. And that was because historically we would be in high schools and places where you couldn't light candles. And so we have continued that tradition. And so Marion, can you put some of the rocks in? I picture this as our sky blue bowl of compassion, love. And so let me first ask if anyone has a birthday or an anniversary around now. And so maybe raise your hand. Jean. I made it at 92. Jean Decker, happy birthday. Does anybody else have a birthday or anniversary? How about Claire? Do you see any on the Zoom?
Not yet.
Okay. So did you put a
I did.
couple? Okay, 92. Whoa. So
I'd
anyone
like to put
else?
92 in, but.
Yeah. If anyone else would like to share a personal joy or sorrow with the group here, I invite you to come on up and use this microphone, and please tell us first your name and then what it is that you would like to share. Or if you feel too shy. Speak right into it.
I am Susan Moody, and hopefully I won't fall down. My brother Chris is here from India. He hasn't been here because of COVID for 3 years, I believe. And that's a joy. I don't really have any sorrows at this time because he's here.
Aw. Yeah, we're so glad to meet you, Chris. Thanks, Susan. Anyone else?
I'm Francis Beaker, and it's a joy to be here with you all.
It's a joy to have you here.
I'm Andrea Van Ness, and this past week, a friend from Boston that I've known since I was 16 came up. And we're both musicians, and every day, I'm probably start crying. I'm so thankful that I'm a musician. It's gotten me through COVID. It's gotten me through so much, and the joy is just unbelievable. So we shared stories and talked about trios and Beethoven and Mozart and we went to Europe, and it's such a charm in my life.
Thanks, Andrea.
Since I'm right here, I might as well, right? Hi, I'm Catherine again, and my mom is sending him to assisted living. All right, I'm gonna cry too. She's doing great. And my aunt that is in a hospital with a broken neck. And that's enough for now. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm excited to be a part of the theology class next after, and I wanted to mention that earlier. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of if you get a chance to do that. So.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Catherine. We do have Kleenex in the pews.
Oh, yeah.
All right, since Susan did it, I gotta do it too. I gotta join. I'm Sue, sorry, and my sister, my darling sister, and my darling friend Juanita have come to see us play today and to enjoy this wonderful church and to meet Laurel and all of you, and that's a joy for me.
Thanks, Sue. Welcome, Diane and Juanita.
Morning, I'm Bob. I have a joy. First of all, I want to say it's just great to see everybody together. It's a great community. I've been seeing you all on YouTube and Zoom, but it's just not the same.
No.
My joy is I became a grandfather. William Moon was born January 26th.
Oh, Grandpa. Congratulations.
Feeling old.
Feeling old. Okay. Anybody else? So Claire, our intern, will read. We do have people who are not here physically on Zoom, and so they also are sharing joys and sorrows.
There's just one from Tracy Jones, and she joined us at Water Communion and was able to join us, not able to be here today. She's in the hospital in Denver. I was able to visit with her, and she was able to have a trach placed and is breathing much easier, but is in a lot of pain. So holding her close in our heart and knowing that you're right there, Tracy. Thank you for being with us.
I think also on Zoom is Larissa Feathers, and she is another new member who signed the membership book a week or so ago. And so Larissa, sorry you weren't able to be here in person to participate in this beautiful ceremony, but a warm welcome to you. And actually, let me show you something. Could you hold that? Look at this. Anyone who joins the congregation signs not only the membership book, but my stole. So this is among my most precious physical possessions. So Marion, let's put a few more stones in to represent the joys and sorrows that may remain in the silent sanctuaries of your heart that may be too tender to speak out loud. And as always, we have lit on our altar 2 candles to represent the joys and sorrows of the world. And now Bob Jeffries is joining in our musical response, a tradition that we've had for many years. And so please join in singing Comfort Me. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing with me, oh my soul. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me, oh my soul. Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me, oh my soul. Comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me. Comfort me. Comfort me, oh my soul.
Would the ushers please come forward? The recipient of Namaqua's fourth quarter Catholic congregation is Saint, Senior Alternatives in Transportation. Saint's mission is to help seniors and people with disabilities maintain their independence and self-sufficiency by providing connections to the community through personalized door-to-door transportation. Transportation is provided free of charge. And I know that there are at least 5 people in our Namaqua community that volunteer to drive for Saint. So please give them
Come on up. Oh. So please repeat after me. We dedicate ourselves and these are offerings.
We dedicate ourselves and these are offerings
To the vision of this congregation.
to the vision of this congregation,
Which is to radiate love, peace, and justice.
which is to radiate love, peace, and justice.
As together we work to build the love community.
As together we work to build a beloved community.
Every other Saturday, a group of 15 of us have been gathering to take a class called Facing Death with Life. And
And on the theme of awakening, I can't imagine anything more profound than death that awakens us to the preciousness of life. And so for my reflection, what I want to offer is, this is basically one of our Unitarian Universalist Bibles, the poems of Mary Oliver. And so I want to share one of my favorites, When Death Comes. When death comes, like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut. When death comes like the measles pox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness. And therefore, I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And I look upon time as no more than an idea. And I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy and as singular. And each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending as all music does towards silence. And each body a lion of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say, all my life, I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking the world into my arms. I want to invite the Uyuks up for our closing song. This is another one that might be familiar to you all. And so why don't you rise as you're willing and able and sing an old favorite from Kenny Loggins and Jim Messina, Watching the River Run.
And it
twisting together when we drink the sea.
And it goes on and on, watching the river run further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one, and we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning, run, river, run. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one, and we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning, run, river, run. Listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run.
Words from Martha Kirby Keiko. Our time together is finished, but our work is not done. May our spirits be renewed and our resolve strengthened as we meet the challenges of the week to come. This chalice flame is extinguished until we ignite it again with the spark of our communion.
When it's over, may we all be able to say, I was a bride married to amazement. I was a bridegroom taking the world into my arms. In just a few minutes, we are going to celebrate all of you new members by partaking in some cake. So thank you, Sherry, for getting this. And just a couple of announcements. One is. He's still on. Oh, it's on. For those of you who come from a Christian tradition, I know this is Palm Sunday, but we instead were playing some ukuleles today. Some new members. And next week is kind of a tricky time for UUs, which is that it's Easter. And so those of you who have been around for a while will be happy to hear that one of our old worship associates, Brad Willenbrock, who moved with his 3 kids back to Massachusetts, is coming out here with his new girlfriend, Leslie. And Brad is going to be the worship associate with me next week. So I hope that you will all come for our special UU Easter Sunday. And I want the UUs to come back up here again, because remember our plan? We have a plan. Which is that, you know, some people, when they're telling their friends that they're going to church on Sunday, they make them a little bit self-conscious. And when people ask, what is Unitarian Universalism? It's kind of hard to describe. But one way you can describe it is the song that we're about ready to sing. It's a call and response. It was written for UU children in something called Chalice Camp. And so what I'd like to have you do is repeat after me. When I say, it's a blessing you were born, you sing back, it's a blessing I was born. Are you ready? a blessing you were born.
It's a blessing I was born.
And it matters what you do.
And it matters what I do.
What you know about God.
What I know about God
Is a piece of the truth.
is a piece of the truth.
Let the beauty you love
The beauty I love
be what you do.
be what I do.
And you don't have to do it alone. And you don't
Have to do it alone.
It's a blessing we were born. And it matters what we do.
And it matters what we do.
What we know about God
What we know about God
is a piece of the truth.
is a piece of the truth.
Let the beauty we love
The beauty we love
be what we do.
be what we do.
And we don't have to do it alone. And we don't have to do it alone. And we don't have to do it alone. Cha-cha-cha. So everyone, please rise and follow the crowd to eat some cake.